What if I told you that a seemingly innocent family portrait could feel more like the opening scene of a mystery thriller? That's exactly what The Daughters of Edward Darley Boit by John Singer Sargent delivers. This painting isn't just a snapshot of four sisters, it's a visual enigma, the kind that keeps you staring, wondering, what's going on in this painting? Seriously, why do these sisters look like they've just walked out of a Gothic novel? What's hiding in those shadowy corners? And let's talk about those massive vases. Are they decor, or are they secretly part of a heist plan involving a priceless artifact? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you won't just know what this painting is. You'll feel like a detective who just cracked the case, and maybe you'll even spot a detail everyone else has missed. Oh, and don't worry, I will keep it light with a few jokes along the way. Because who says art history can't be as entertaining as your favourite Netflix binge? Let's dive in. Picture this. You're stepping into the grand Boit family apartment in Paris, a space so lofty you half expect to see trapeze artists swinging from the ceilings. The room is a stunning interplay of light and shadow, with an atmosphere that feels more like a theatrical set than a cosy family home. And taking centre stage, the enigmatic Boit sisters, each one playing their part in this beautifully eerie production. Let's start with the youngest, 4-year-old Julia. She's sitting cross-legged on a plush blue rug, clutching her pink baby doll like it's her most prized possession. Sunlight streams through the room, spotlighting her like she's the lead in a play. But wait, look closer. Her tiny toes are turned inward, her posture just a little uncertain. It's as though she's unsure whether she's really supposed to be in the spotlight. Then there's Mary Louisa just off to the side. Her face is half hidden in the shadows, but her white pinafore practically glows under the light, creating a striking contrast. Her expression? Detached, thoughtful. It's like she's pondering something far deeper than her years, or maybe just wondering if dessert is on the horizon. Moving further back, we find the older sisters, Jane and Florence. Jane meets our gaze head-on, her expression a curious mix of boldness and hesitation, as if she's silently asking, "What are you looking at?" And then there's Florence, leaning casually against one of the enormous vases. Seriously, why are those vases so big? Her face turned in profile. She's the epitome of teenage indifference. If Florence had a thought bubble, it would probably say, "I have better things to do." But the real mystery lies beyond them, in the deep dark void of the shadowy room behind. It's like a black hole that pulls your eyes in and refuses to let go. Is it just another corner of the apartment, or is it symbolic of something more? Perhaps the unknown looming future these girls are stepping toward. So, what caught your eye first? Was it Julia's glow, the dramatic shadows, or those hauntingly detached expressions? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to know what stands out to you the most in this masterpiece. The Boit family wasn't your average 19th century clan. Edward Ned Boit and Mary Louisa Isa Cushing Boit were wealthy Americans living in Paris, funded by Isa's inheritance. And when I say inheritance, I mean opium smuggling fortune. Yes, Isa's father, John Perkins Cushing, made his millions in the opium trade, an industry that's as controversial as it is lucrative. This wealth allowed the Boits to lead a nomadic lifestyle, hopping between glamorous European cities and living the kind of life that Instagram influencers could only dream of. Ned, a Harvard-trained lawyer, abandoned his career to pursue watercolor painting, a decision made entirely possible by Isa's fortune. Meanwhile, Isa was described as charming, eternally youthful and socially magnetic, but not exactly hands-on when it came to parenting. Family friend Henry James once remarked that Isa had as much business raising daughters as she did raising elephants. Ouch! Their wealth gave the Boit sisters a life of privilege, but it also left them rootless. The grand apartment we see in the painting feels more like a temporary stop than a true home, a reflection of the family's transient lifestyle. By the way, if you love unraveling art's greatest mysteries, click subscribe and ring the bell icon. It's like joining an exclusive art club, except instead of secret handshakes, We share stories, laughs, and hidden details that make you see the world differently. Now, John Singer Sargent was only 26 when he painted this masterpiece, but his ability to capture light, shadow, and atmosphere was already extraordinary. Sargent wasn't just painting four girls, he was capturing the essence of their world. Inspired by Diego Velázquez's Las Meninas, Sargent borrowed elements of grandeur and mystery, creating a scene that feels both intimate and distant. The interplay of light and shadow isn't just a technical choice, it's a narrative tool, pulling us into the painting while keeping certain details tantalizingly out of reach. And then there's the influence of Edgar Degas, whose fragmented compositions and disconnected subjects echoed in Sargent's work. Unlike traditional Victorian portraits, which often depicted children as miniature adults, Sargent gave each Boit sister a distinct personality. Julia radiates innocence and curiosity. Mary Louisa seems introspective, caught between childhood and something deeper. Jane is hauntingly direct, her gaze both engaging and unsettling. Florence, the eldest, exudes a quiet defiance, her detachment hinting at a deeper emotional distance. Which of the sisters do you connect with most? Is it Julia's youthful charm, Jane's piercing gaze, or Florence's rebellious spirit? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. Let's talk about those vases, because they're more than just oversized decor. These massive Japanese imported vases frame the composition like silent sentinels, but their presence feels heavy, almost oppressive. The vases are hollow, an apt metaphor for the family's wealth, which, while grand, might lack emotional substance. They also emphasize the sisters' isolation, acting as barriers rather than connectors. And then there's the darkened room in the background. Is it just another part of the apartment? Or does it symbolize the uncertainty and challenges of growing up? What do you think the vases represent? And what's your interpretation of the shadows in the background? Let's hear your theories in the comments. The lives of the Boit sisters after this painting are just as intriguing and, at times, tragic as the artwork itself. Julia, the youngest, explored watercolor painting but never pursued it professionally. Her life, like her father's, was shaped by privilege and freedom from financial need. Mary Louisa led a quiet life in Newport, Rhode Island, embracing the comforts of her social status. Jane faced chronic health issues, requiring constant care for much of her life. Florence, the eldest, introduced golf to New England, fun fact, but struggled with mental health challenges. She was institutionalized in the early 1900s and passed away soon after. None of the sisters married, a rarity for women of their social standing. Their lives were marked by privilege, but also by struggles that seem eerily foreshadowed in the painting's somber tone. Could Sargent have seen himself in the Boit sisters? Like them, he came from a wealthy, nomadic family and spent much of his childhood traveling across Europe. The sense of rootlessness and emotional complexity that defines this painting might reflect his own experiences. Sargent, like the sisters, never married and maintained a private life, pouring his emotions into his work. It's as if he recognized something in the boys that mirrored his own journey, something he couldn't articulate but could capture in paint. When you look at the daughters of Edward Darley Boit, what do you see? Is it a haunting glimpse of childhood, a meditation on isolation, or something else entirely? Let's keep the conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if there's another painting or artist you'd like me to cover, let me know. Whether it's psychological masterpieces, historical dramas, or just plain artistic genius, I'm here for it. Your comment might inspire the next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more art history deep dives. Until next time, keep exploring the stories behind the canvas, because art always has more to say than meets the eye.